Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to make this impossible triangle. This is a good use of tools to make a logo, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that. So keep all of these tools in mind when you're making your logos in a couple weeks. You'll put them into practice. You may not create exactly what I create here, but it's the same idea no matter what shape you create your logo out of. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And I just used a regular print size document, 8.5 by 11. It doesn't really matter because we're going to save it as a PNG file, so whatever space we don't use is going to disappear. I'm going to go ahead and reset my workspace. So I'm on Essentials Classic, and I'm just going to hit this reset, and that's only so we're on the same page. I'm going to pull my toolbar out so I can see it. I'm going to take my fill color off. I don't want a fill color. I want my stroke color to be, make sure your stroke color is set to black and make sure it is a 1-point stroke. I'm going to go ahead and click on my line segment tool. Oh, one more thing. I need to make sure that my smart guides are on. So I'm going to go to view and make sure that this is checked. If you don't see your options bar up here, go to window, control, and then your options should appear. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use my line segment tool, which is located right here. And I'm going to hold the shift key and draw out a line. Okay, I need to make sure it's kind of long, about that width. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy this twice. Edit, copy, edit, paste. Oops, I pasted it in front. Let me undo that real quick. Edit, paste. And then I'm going to go ahead and move it. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to use our alignment tools to align them in a minute. Edit, copy, and I'm going to copy it one more time. Edit, paste. Oops, I pasted it in front again. Edit, paste. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and select all three. Actually, I'm going to move this one down just a little bit. Select all three. Align them horizontally and distribute the centers equally. And then I'm going to make a copy of all three of them. Edit, copy, edit, paste. And I want to rotate them. So I'm going to show my properties panel over here. And if you don't see your properties panel, go to window. Make sure your properties panel button is clicked. And it should appear here. So when they're selected, I can drop down this arrow and rotate it 120 degrees. And I'm going to make a copy, edit, copy, edit, paste. You can rotate them manually if you like, but it's nice to be able to get these perfect angles. So if I rotate it the other way, I just multiply 120 by 2 because it's a triangle. So rotating it 240. All right, nobody ever said you would never use math and art. Okay, so there we go. Now, something I want to point out is that all of these points need to be intersecting. Again, math. Okay. So all of those points need to be intersecting. So your triangle should look like this. The next thing I'm going to do is put a line here, here, and here to close it up. So I'm going to use this line segment tool again. And those lines are turning blue. That means my points are intersecting, which is what I want. I go from one corner to the other. And again, you should be getting those blue lines. That means all your lines are intersecting. All right, so now you should look like this. If it doesn't, go ahead and pause it and make yours look just like that. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and select everything. And I'm going to use my shape builder tool. So clicking on my shape builder tool, I'm going to delete these outside edges or outside lines. So on a regular PC or a laptop, I'm going to hold the Alt key. On a Mac, I'm going to hold the Option key. And on a Chromebook, I'm going to hold the Alt and the letter Z. And I'm going to drag across to subtract those lines. Okay. You may need to pass over them a couple times. This little guy right here doesn't want to go away. I might have to use my selection tool after to delete it. Drag across, and again, I'm having to go over it a couple times, and that's okay. All right, so now your triangle should look like this. If it doesn't, go ahead and pause it and redo it until it does look like this. All right, the next step we are going to do is combine our shapes to make that impossible triangle. So again, using the shape builder tool with the plus, oops, I need to select the entire thing, drag across the entire artboard. Using the shape builder tool, I am going to go outside, inside. Okay, so just follow. And you may need to undo this a couple times, and that's okay. That's why we have Control Z. Control Z, that is our undo button. So with my plus showing on my shape builder tool, I'm going to select the outside line and the inside line. Outside line, inside line. Outside line, inside line. All right, we're getting there. So if your triangle does not look like this now, go ahead and pause it and undo until it looks like this. I'm going to go ahead and clean up these extra lines right here. So I'm just going to add them to my shape. All right, and now we have our impossible triangle. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. Hold shift and make it bigger. Now what we're going to do is we are going to add some color. So I'm going to select this outside line, and that fills in this whole shape right here. I'm going to go ahead and go to my fill. And if I click on this box right here that looks like a stack of library books, it's the swatch library menu. This brings up different colors. Okay, so most of these are solid colors. If you click on, let's click on, oh, actually there's patterns here too. So sorry. So there's patterns and gradients in these two different pop-out folders. Most of them are solid colors. So if I click on flowers, you can see those are solid colors. Okay, but we are going to do gradients because I think it looks really great with this triangle. So I'm going to click on gradients, and let's go with metals. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. And if your icons are small and you can't see them, if you click on this little hamburger, you can click on large thumbnail view, and it makes them bigger. So right now, like, that's what it probably looks like when you first start. If you click here and go large, it makes them larger. All right, so with that one selected, I'm going to go ahead and let's use the darker steel on the outside. Let's go to the side and think about color and light and how the light falls and how it's going to look, how it should look. All right, so that actually looks kind of cool. And you can go ahead and experiment with these different gradients, even colors. Go ahead and experiment with the different colors. But I would like to see you use a gradient, some gradient swatches for this impossible triangle. Make sure that you use 3 different gradients for this project. I can actually pick the same one. All right, and when you're all done, you're going to go ahead and save it. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, navigate to your Student U drive, and create a new folder titled Impossible Triangle, and save it inside of that folder. And then you're going to navigate, you're going to export it, export as, navigate to the Turn It In folder, Turn It In Assignments, Grand Terrace High School, Graphic Design 1, and whatever period number you're in, and you will have an impossible triangle folder that you will place it in, and go ahead and export it.